A group describing itself as retired generals and senior civil servants of Zimbabwe has issued one of the strongest public condemnations yet of the recently enacted Constitutional Amendment Number 3, describing the amendment as an assault on Zimbabwe's constitutional order and urging citizens to organize and oppose it through lawful means. Sarabida Mashkubdani Kwanze retired generals condemn Constitutional Amendment Number 3 call for lawful national resistance that was subscribed by Lagos on the bill. The statement in July 2026 and signed by Air Marshal Henry Mjena, retired, on behalf of the group, comes barely 24 hours, but President Mnangagwa ascended to Constitutional Amendment Bill Number 3, which was subsequently gazetted as Constitutional Amendment Number 3. The intervention is significant because retired senior military officers have historically maintained a largely reserved public posture on contentious constitutional and political matters. The decision by retired members of the security establishment to publicly criticize a constitutional amendment is therefore likely to attract considerable political attention. In cause, our collective conscience will not allow us to remain silent. In their statement, the retired officers argue that the amendment represents far more than a routine constitutional adjustment. The group rejects characterizations of Constitutional Amendment Number 3 as merely administrative, instead describing it as an assault on the constitutional covenant made by 2013 by the people of Zimbabwe through negotiation, national consensus, and referendum. The statement repeatedly returns to the principle that Zimbabwe's constitution derives its authority from the people rather than from elected office holders. Comparison with the 1965 Unilateral Declaration of Independence. Perhaps the most striking features of the statement in its historical comparison between Constitutional Amendment Number 3 and the events surrounding the Unilateral Declaration of Independence (UDI) by the Rhodesian government on 11 November 1965. According to the retired officers, while the historical circumstances differ, both moments share what they describe as a common constitutional principle: power being exercised without the consent of the governed. Zimbabwe has, in spirit, if not in form, returned to the dark logic of 11 November 1965, the statement argues. Then it was called UDI. Today it wears the clothing of constitutional amendment. The principle is the same. Power has placed itself above the people. The comparison is likely to generate considerable debate, given the historical significance of UDI in Zimbabwe's liberation narrative. Toma developments ari kuda panguva inai achibva kune magenerals. Ina kumesa kuchemberedza fundo yenyu muri kudipa musoro pechitwechi. Subscribe or like, hit on the bell icon.